It's wonderful to see you. I guess it's here we go again when it comes to doing it the hard way. You know what it takes. It's one more game and it's a dream come true again, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. As you said, the hard way. No one wanted to be here, but we still have a route into Europe, so we'll take it with both hands, and hopefully we can get the result on Friday night. I've been here a few times with Climbo. I've done it with Lauren as well. It's one of them games, 50-50, anything can happen. So we're just hoping they get the job done Friday night. We know it's going to be intense, but with the fans behind us, and we beat them last time we were, so who knows what can happen.
I mean, and that's the key thing, isn't it? The fans, because I know it's on television, but you need them there in numbers at the Oval, don't you? It's not like being at Inver Park.
Oh, 100% in an away game, they're massive. When things aren't going your way and your back's against the wall, and a little cheer gives you a wee bit of extra yards to get there, to make a tackle, to make a block, even to get onto a ball. They are massive for us.
Yeah, it looked special last night after the win. We saw the Fuds fist bump again. We've not seen that for some time, and it looks like there was a lot of emotion at the end of the final whistle.
The Fuds are roar. Nah.
Yeah.
He took that from Randy Della, I think. Yeah, some of the boys, it's probably just relief in some of them. As you said, it's an intense atmosphere and sort of games. You can see it in both sets of players, and it's probably more or less relief, as I said, just getting over the line and probably showing a bit back to the fans for how good they were last night.
You didn't make it easy though against Coleraine. I think you're comfortably the better side, but again, it went right down to the wire, didn't it?
As you said, Colerane's one of them teams. If you don't catch them on the counter and you don't capitalise when they're pushing boys forward, you lose it. You have 5, they have 4 defending. We lose it, then they get the advantage coming the other way. So it was just turned into a basketball match for 20 minutes, and I think that's what we need to learn. Where the control game's a bit better and slow the tempo down to our pace, and we're winning.
And I think sometimes just being more clinical in front of goal. I think if there's one criticism perhaps throughout this season is you've dominated so many games and not got what you deserved out of them simply for not taking chances.
Exactly. I remember someone saying to me, football's won in both boxes. Midfield just looks pretty. Like you get but the nitty gritty's down in both boxes. So if you do well in your own box and capitalise in the other box, you're going to win most games.
But that's one thing that's really improved over the last 6 games since the split. Defensively, 1 goal from 6 games.
Yeah, and it was an absolute peach. I don't think we could have done much about the goal too. But yeah, it's just one of them. Gaz Haven and Seamus have been drilling in those, but they've attacked the centre backs and stuff like that. Stop letting stuff go down. Stop letting the centre backs get dragged out in the wide areas, and everyone has to work together. And the forwards have chipped in. The whole team are just more solid together. I think everyone's wanting the clean sheets now, not just the back now.
That almost looked like the word for me, togetherness. It seems that everybody has really grasped this opportunity, and you've got some real momentum going into a huge game.
Exactly. I was out to the games before it, but we spoke about it a lot, and that's what we were saying, that these 5 games in the playoffs, there's no pressure. Go out, show people what you can do, fight for spots in these games, and get a few positive results, and see the confidence building in boys. You see the back line, the centre back pairing. It's brilliant, and everyone's together, and as you said, it looks it on the pitch. We're not all individuals out there anymore.
Yeah, I spoke to Ben Doherty prior to the Coleraine game, and he said, look, there was a meeting prior to the split, and it wasn't people throwing cups of tea at each other or swearing at each other. It was more drawing a line under a season and saying you can still achieve something.
Yeah, exactly. I think myself, everyone will know the club should be in a better position. So that's not the way football goes sometimes. Sometimes you don't get what you deserve, and we just have to go along with it and try and get into Europe. And we get into Europe, it's still a successful season. But as Ben was saying, boys just let their differences out, told what they liked, what they didn't like, and see, to be fair, the boys stood up, they all took it well, and everyone's grasped it with 2 hands and went for it and got behind each other.
But I think it shows how much the football club's changed during your time, that winning 1 trophy is not enough to say that's a good season.
Exactly. I wouldn't say it's never a good season like that. Personally, you come, you want to win, you want to challenge for titles. I think last year we were right there and we let it go ourselves. We were disappointed ourselves. This year we just haven't kicked on. We were there in the hunt, and once again we've just fallen short in certain games. And I think, as you say, it's clinical in both boxes. We haven't defended it well enough at times, and we haven't scored when we've had the chances. So hopefully we can address that, and there won't be a problem on Friday night about that.
Just wondering, going into a game like Glentoran, I mean, their form since the split's not been great. They're just the 1 win from the 6, but you've almost got to ignore that, haven't you? And think you're facing the best Glentoran.
Exactly. I think form goes out the window in these sort of games. It's like a cup game more or less. Both teams knows what's at stake for both sets of fans and their clubs. It's a lot of money on the line, and I think it'll be down to whatever team can hold their nerve most on the day will win the game. So both teams are pretty similar. We've matched up a number of times this season. So as I said, whoever deals with the nerves on the day and plays the best football will win.
One of the positives, though, is that you've not messed up against them. You played 4 times, drawn twice, and won twice, and as you say, one at the Oval too. Although there was no goal involved as well, wasn't there?
I heard a lot about this own goal. Everyone, I must have had more messages for an own goal than when I score a goal. But yeah, it is what it is. Thankfully, we won because I would have been even in a worse mood. But as you said, it is what it is. We got kind of lucky that game. That was probably one of the maddest games of football I've ever played in. That could have went either way. I think it was 4 of the worst goals I've ever seen go in. Then they would make the edge wonder go. So that's just the way football goes sometimes. But as you said, we've done it over there. So hopefully we can do it again.
And how important is the experience of last season? Bearing in mind we talked about doing it the hard way, but I mean, doing it the hard way and completing it and being successful must give you confidence going to a game like Friday.
Exactly. The more you play in the bigger games, the more experience you have, the more confidence you go into them. I would say I wouldn't go in with much fear into a game anymore. When I was younger, I had a lot of butterflies all the time, and I'm nervous about doing the right thing. But now it's more, your job, your role. You have to go out there and just do it for the team, and hopefully the experienced boys in the squad can get around the younger boys and show them there's nothing to fear out there, and we're all in this together.
And you talked about everyone competing for spots. You 1 to 11 looks strong. You look at the bench the other night, proper options. People are fighting for places, aren't they?
Exactly. You look at that bench, and they could probably start for most of the other teams in the league. That's what you want. You want boys that are there to come on, change the game, and you seen it last night. The Mitchell come on, showed up the midfield for a bit. Andy come on, and he sets off and sets up the goal. So you do need people like that in your team, and everyone's in it together.
Yeah, I looked at the final whistle, the eyes, and I talked about the fist bump and everything like that. But it looked like the players have always believed, but it looked like the fans now believe as well.
Exactly. Football's like that all around the world. The fans will turn on you if you're not getting the results. But that's just, you should expect it, that everyone's right, have their own opinions. We just have to blank it out. You have to take the good with the good and the bad with the bad. You can't heap all the praise on you, and then when someone gives you a bit of negativity, and go into your shell. So it is what it is, and I'm glad to see the fans are behind us that have always been there. Have just a few moans and groans. So that's typical in football. But from we've put the performances in, I think the same boys are giving 100%, and I think they'll take that every day of the week.
But I think it's also a motivation to owe them a performance as well after this season, and also to think about proper crowds coming to Europe in a way that they didn't last season because of COVID and everything that was going on.
Exactly. Even Europe last season was brilliant in the midst of COVID. It was class to go away to them places like Wales, and you're going to Denmark, you're going to Portugal. We could have got Tottenham if we had went through another round. So stuff like that, it's what you play football for. You want to play in the big games, and you want the crowds to come out on the summer nights, and there's nothing better than playing football like that.
Yeah, for me, one of the moments was the guys in the car park that couldn't get into the game in Wales, but made themselves really, really vocal.
Exactly. We've had a few speakers in it of Lauren, some of the older people from the area, maybe a bit of sickness or have had troubles in their lives. They've been telling us stories of what the club and stuff means to them, and it's great to see. I remember them telling me they've done everything to try and get tickets to get over, and one of them actually brought the kit over for the club. So it just shows you what the club means to people like that, and they probably never thought they'd be here. So hopefully we can do it for them and give them more memories.
You talk about what it means to wear the shirt. You're going to wear the armband on Friday night. How proud are you of that?
Yeah, it's massive for the be the captain of any club. But as you said, just filling in for Jeff and Albert when they're out. Everyone's a leader out there. I just get the picture before the game. But yeah, it is massive. Great honour to do it with such a club like Lauren. As you've seen, it means so much to the fans, and everyone here has been brilliant to me ever since I joined, and it's good to give back to them and trying the best for them.
Yeah, just to find a couple of points. How much is left in the tank? It looked like it was a difficult game against Coleraine, but it also looked as though there was plenty left for a game on Friday night.
Of course, we could have went the night if you asked us. the motivation's there, everything's there. You just run through a brick wall for the last game. That's it. You get the rest after. Sure, people like myself are carrying knocks. You need the season to be over, but I think one last push and we'll get it done, and you can be sore for the next couple of weeks after.
And I think we've seen some horrible games between Larne and Glentoran. They're not nice to watch often, but no one will care if you win, will they?
100%. It's no one will care if you play good football and you get beat. Like everyone wants you to go out there and win and put everything on the line, and doesn't matter how you play. It's all about the result at the end of the day. That's what Tiernan said on Tuesday night. He said the same thing. It's all about getting over the line and getting that result done.
And I think maybe owing him a performance too.
Yeah, exactly. He stuck by us. He puts his neck on the line when we haven't done too well, and he takes the most of the blunt, and you see it with some of the comments and stuff. But yeah, we'll do it for him. We'll do it for Kenny, for everyone who's associated with the club, the cleaners, everyone, people, volunteers, anyone who's associated with Larne, we're doing it for them.
You look like you're ready for it.
Yeah, I'm up for it. As a kind of night you want to play football, you want to play in front of the big crowds, in front of the cameras. This is where you can show you're a good player, and people remember you for these games.